everybody, to WTL. You know what that stands for? Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
J.O.
That's Jeremy Odom. You know who that man
As
is.
if you didn't know.
Yes, as if you didn't know. Have you ever been to the Funny Bone? You know this guy.
That's right. You've been to the Bone. You've seen me. I've been cracking jokes since 2023. I was just trying to look for something that rhymed.
Well, and I'm going to give you some material to work with here because we're talking NFC North, so you're going to be able to crack on jokes on my Bears as much as you want. So
I'm looking forward to
this
that.
is the platform for that. No, but we're going to be talking NFC North, who we like, who we don't like, the favorites on down the line. We have the Lions leading the pack. They are your favorites. They have a dominant offense, but they're facing some turnover on that coaching staff. Packers, they're a sweetheart pick. They did get some roster upgrades, you could say. Vikings, there's some new optimism around their new quarterback, JJ. I know you like JJ.
I do.
And they upgraded their O-line, but they're still considered kind of outlanders. A lot of people thought maybe they batted a little out of their league last year, and they're going to come back down to earth.
Right.
The Bears, they're going to be the long shot. I know they're catching a lot of hype right now. I just think people are talking about the Bears now because they're not going to be able to 4 or 5 weeks into the season. That's my take. I do like getting the coach from Detroit. I think he should help Caleb Williams, but we'll see how that all plays out. So let's start with the Detroit Lions. They are your favorites to three-peat as the winners of the NFC North. Odds makers continue to kind of separate them. They're at a plus 50 to a plus 175, depending on where you're shopping.
Yeah, locally we have them at 135 to win the NFC North.
Tightened up.
They're at a 10.5 over under as far as the wins this season. That's the thing that you can take the under in order to find the favorite right now at minus 143. So it's very rare that we've been talking Lions and a three-peat or a two-peat or even the one-peat, but here we are. This is their window. Jared Goff's led them to a different style of football that they have not seen in a long time in Detroit, and I think there's no question they're the favorite. Is the window closing, and they missed it.
Yeah, and everybody loves their coach, and they want to see him, hang on to it, not just lose his coaches and fade off. I do think they're about as talented as you can get as far as the NFC North goes. Jahmyr Gibbs, top pick in fantasy. Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra, St. Brown. He's an elite receiver. Sam Laporta should have a bounce back year. I know he kind of had that sophomore slump, but I'm looking for him to rebound at tight end. So I really like that offense. And if they have to get into a shootout, we've seen it plenty of times, the Lions can win those shootouts.
Yeah, they're built for the shootout, and they focused on the defense when they were looking at additions this season. They added cornerback DJ Reed, defensive tackle Roy Lopez. I mean, they knew where they needed help, and they went out and got some pieces. But the thing is, we know what their offense is capable of. They're going to go out and do it again. Is it going to be enough? Did the rest of the division start to catch up with them? And that's generally what happens.
It really is, and that's how the schedule in the NFL works out. It's made for parity.
Yes.
You played the best last year, therefore you're going to have the toughest schedule this year. Are you concerned with both coordinators leaving the Lions? I mean, they just started, tasting the success, and now we got to start over with the new offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator up there for the Lions.
I think that's when you really start to see how good this head coach is and his culture.
Yeah.
Once the coordinators leave, which they're designed to do that. The whole point is to promote your guys out, right?
Yeah.
So to see what they do this season, I think is really going to stand a stamp on this era of Lions football.
I love it. All right, let's move on to the Green Bay Packers. This team is probably more all over the board when I talk to people. I like them, I love them, I hate them, I don't know. But they have the widest spectrum, I guess. I think their value is where it needs to be, though. If I'm going to take a team to win the division, I like the plus 280 here with Green Bay. It appears that they found their guy in Jordan Love. I know people are thinking maybe they played kind of like the Vikings last year, maybe better than what they were supposed to.
Yep.
I don't know. That's just what Green Bay does year in, year out.
Well, we're accustomed to Green Bay being good.
Yeah.
But when you really look at it, they were ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
And I think that showed in the end.
That's a great way to put it.
Yep. And so that's where it's like, all right, well, if they were ahead of schedule last year, this year, they really hold true to what they're trying to build there. I think you're right at that 280. Why not? Like if you're a Green Bay believer, that would be the one to do. 9.5 is that kind of that over and under line people are taking. They're minus money on both over and under. I don't know. They're probably going to fall right in that range.
And I love their head coach being a former Omaha Beef wide receiver, Matt LaFleur, and he's always had a good offense. They're saying this year he's got a good defense to go along with that offense. He's also added Josh Jacobs and rookie wide receiver. Wow. Matthew Golden. Some people are high on him. Some people don't think he's going to be a bust.
I like him.
I know. I like how I hate writing these young guys off before their career even starts.
That's what we do. We really should do more of that. We need to shut these guys down now. Get them talking about us.
Yeah.
And then when they blow up, they're like, well, the WTL never believed in me. We believe in you now.
Yeah. Yeah, give them something to strive for. Give them some bullet.
Let's be part of their story. Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew Golden. What did you do other than just have a stellar, college career, and then get drafted highly? But no, I think that might be the best value out of this division, that plus 280 for the Packers. And Matt LaFleur, he kept his entire coaching staff intact. Unlike Detroit, that's got to account for something.
It's got to make a difference, yeah.
All righty, let's move on down the list to the Minnesota Vikings. You're high on J.J. McCarthy. A little more optimism than me. Odds are around anywhere between plus 300, 290, plus 320s out there.
Yeah, they're and locally they're at plus 375 right now. Ooh. So I don't know if it was just the little excitement around the Packers, just kind of skewing away the Vikings. But 9.5, same as the Pack, is kind of where the over/under is for wins for the Vikings, and the under is the favorite at minus 134. But I like them. I like J.J. McCarthy. I've got confidence in a guy who's talented, who got to sit an entire year and watch the NFL happen in front of him. And like I was saying during the fantasy football segment a couple weeks ago, 80% of their scores came through the air.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy's plenty capable of doing that, even though he didn't really showcase that as much in college.
Well, was that because he didn't have to, and that's not what that offense is?
Right.
Or is that because he wasn't capable?
It's because it'd be required. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, you look at the weapons that...
He's got maybe the best receiver in all of NFL. No one's going to argue that, right?
Yeah.
You're going to see the gritty week in and week out in the end zone. Do you have any concerns on defense, though?
Yes, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Like, I like them. They're like a middle of the pack defense. I think one of my buddies, he's a diehard Vikings fan, so he's really depressed, right? Because he's had to go year in, year out with this excitement of Vikings football. He said if we can finish the Vikings defense in like the top 20 of the league, even 25, he said they're a playoff team.
Okay.
And I said, okay, so you're mediocre at best type of defense. And he goes, absolutely. This isn't going to be, we're not winning football games because of the defense, but the offense is going to be enough to carry them.
Yeah.
We just have to stay in the game.
When they shipped off one of their favorite defensive linemen, local guy Harrison, during preseason there, and that's a kind of a low bar trying to be top 25, top 20 defense. So, and this is where I go back to, this is why Detroit is out in front and why they're probably going to win the division. If the Vikings are going to try and do a shootout with Detroit, they're probably going to lose. You still need to have a defensive component.
You do, but it's just a matter of like, are we relying on our secondary, are we relying on the pressure? Like what area of the defense is our strength? Mm-hmm. And I do think that the secondary is going to be kind of where they can hold on a little stronger.
They can hold on just enough.
Just enough,
What's their total at?
9.5.
9.5?
Yep.
Oh, give me the under all day.
Yeah. They just made a trade. I don't know if you saw this. They just brought back favorite Adam Thielen from Carolina.
Give me the under. Give me the under.
It's funny. It reminds me of a few years ago. This is quite a few years ago when they traded back for Randy Moss to have the big homecoming Randy Moss. Yeah. This is like the Vikings version of that, except from Temu. So they're
you're comparing your offense to Temu. You got to take the under with me. All right, let's go with our lovable Chicago Bears here. They are the long shot, plus 550. There are reasons to like him. New head coach, Ben Johnson, comes over from Detroit. I like that move. I just don't think it's enough. I like that they have revamped the offensive line or helped out the offensive line. You got to do whatever you can now to try and help out your number one pick, protect your number one pick in Caleb Williams. I just don't know if there's enough pieces there where you look at Detroit and like, that's a roster. and there's things to like about Minnesota's roster. I just see too many holes in Chicago. I like the value with the other two teams in the division. Chicago, for me, stay away.
So, hand up, I was one of those guys last season that said, this is going to be a team that's better than expected.
Here we go.
Let's go. The Bears are back. But then, obviously after week 1, I completely shut that down and put my hands behind my back like it's over. I'm not going to be that guy this year. I don't like this football team.
There is a lot of hub right now, a lot of hype talking about the Bears.
Yeah, I do like the direction with the new head coach. And it could be a matter of hopefully they believe in this guy and they let him progress and give him a few years. I don't know. I feel like there's some pressure there to win now, and that's tough in the NFL.
Well, yeah, when you're a general manager and you spend so much to get a number 1 pick like Caleb Williams, you're on the clock, right?
Right.
You got to make this work. So then that pressure, it goes downhill.
Yeah.
as you're saying. So I do think you're right in that. What's that win total right now for the Bears?
It's at 8.5.
The Bears.
Yeah,
under.
And the under is the favorite, minus 134.
Under.
I'm taking under 100%.
Yeah, when we get to the bottom 2 teams there, I'm looking at the unders. The top 2 teams, I like the overs with the Vikings and Detroit. So are we both on Detroit then to win this division?
Yeah, I think Detroit's going to repeat.
Just too much talent up and down the roster.
Absolutely.
Don't overthink it. I like that. All right, you heard the horn. That means we're up against it, but let's take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is thelinemakers.com. They don't chase hype, they decode it by applying stock market trading discipline to live sporting events, treating every wager like an investment. Thelinemakers.com. They make the line so you beat the book. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.